Can you guys see the problem? How about now? Now can you see the problem? In today's video, we're gonna be ripping this off and building a whole platform, a deck, a wooden deck with stairs going this way and towards the backyard. This is my mother-in-law's house. Recently, I did the entire paver driveway DIY, so you could check out that video afterwards. We're gonna leave the concrete steps there and we're gonna use them as the foundation to our deck. So you're probably wondering, why in the world did we make a path here? Well, the previous path was very long, tedious, and all broken concrete, and we decided to level out the whole yard and level out the entire path all the way to the new driveway we did, and having a better access and shorter distance to the driveway. We're probably gonna go with treated wood. But before that, I wanna show you how I leveled out the yard. So let me give you the inside scoop here. I posted on Marketplace that I wanted free dirt. Go ahead.
I don't want to wreck your movie.
Don't worry, it's just a YouTube video.
What, how I dug a hole?
Yeah, about how I just got
Where's this all come from?
a guy gave me free dirt. He told me, yeah, there's a few rocks in it, but
Okay.
yeah, it looks like concrete. Oh well, you live and you learn. That's probably gonna take me a few days.
Good luck.
Thank you, I'm gonna need it. Oh my God, I don't have the excavator anymore. I only got a wheelbarrow and a shovel. So yes, Marketplace for this kind of stuff could be good, just like it could be pretty bad. So I spent the next couple of days, I don't remember exactly how many hours, but it was a lot. In those 10+ hours, I got to experience the difference between a wheelbarrow and a gorilla cart. And I'm gonna show you why I prefer a regular wheelbarrow versus this $300 gorilla cart I bought. And it said it could hold up to 1,200 pounds. Just imagine me pulling or even lifting 1,200 pounds of weight. It might have a few pros, you know, but I think the cons far outweigh it. It might be good at, like, let's say just transporting pavers or something you want to pick up from it, but as a dump cart, don't buy one. Cracked right there. And it just cracked for me raising it up and dumping it. The wheelbarrow, on the other hand, is old school, but it's super damn convenient. I really thought I was gonna do this all by hand, but I wanted to get back to building the deck, so I rented an excavator for 24 hours to get it done. Now, let's get back to the deck. So you might have noticed that these stairs look completely destroyed, and that is correct. I believe these stairs are probably 60 years old, maybe a little more. They've been repaired and patched. As you can see, it has definitely settled because it's been many, many years. So we're gonna leave it right here. We're gonna build on top of it. And that's the challenge today, is to see how could we build it. It's really too bad that this is nailed in through the siding. I hope we're not gonna damage the siding or... Oh shit. Oh crap. When starting a project, there's always the unexpected, right? Okay, here we go. All right, now that that's out of the way, I will be measuring. What I want to do now is build out something that comes out of here, elevated, so that we could use this kind of as a base to anchor. That's gonna be the first step to everything. So I got my paper and a pencil, and this is how I'm gonna be starting off. And I think I wanna have the deck be about a tiny bit wider than this entire walkway, 55 inches, I'd say, because this is 53. We'll probably go around 54, 55 inches. So what I want to do is draw out the entire plan for, and now I'm going to try and draw something decent. See, that platform is a bit too big, but right now all I want is just to have somewhat of a reference. So what we want to know now is the distance from this edge to this edge is 4 feet. Steps and a bit further is 55 inches. Feet. And just take note, if that is 4 feet and that's 6 feet, then this is an extra 12 inches. I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna have lunch, and I'm gonna draw out a little design. All right, so I've got all the measurements from the outside, and now it's time to throw this into SketchUp to get a better idea of how we're gonna be building this thing. We know the concrete steps are 4 feet wide, but the deck's got to cover the whole entrance, and we know that the entrance of the house is 6 feet wide. So I'm designing it to cover the full width of the entrance, and for the length, we're going with the 55 inches as I mentioned before, so it lines up with the walkway. Now, here's where I've got two options. We can either run the rafters left to right or front to back. Why does that matter? Well, it changes the direction of the deck boards. If we run the rafters left to right, the deck boards will go front to back, which is what I'm leaning towards. This way, when you walk up from the path, you won't see the cut edges on the top boards. It'll be way cleaner. And to be honest, I'm no contractor or architect. I'm just a self-taught DIY guy who likes figuring stuff out. I learned to use SketchUp because it's simple and gets the job done. It's probably the easiest 3D modeling software out there, and you can learn it too. Actually, if you want to learn SketchUp or pretty much any new skill, Skillshare is where I got started. There's a ton of courses, whether you want to learn a new skill like filming or editing, 3D modeling, graphic design or web design, or just getting better at DIY projects overall. I use Skillshare myself, and I wouldn't recommend it if I didn't think it wasn't worth it. The first 500 people to join Skillshare using my link get 1 month of premium access for free. So check that out if you want to start learning a new skill today. Thank you Skillshare for sponsoring this video and making this project possible. Now let's go buy the materials we need to start building this deck. Okay, let's get cutting. This is kind of a challenge because I just noticed that this entire concrete step is not parallel with the paver stone walkway. Okay. I think that's what we'll do. Okay. Perfect. That's perfect. This has the perfect pitch. You see how this one is kind of pointing like this? It's because it's not perfectly parallel to this, and it's weird because when I did this, I went perfectly parallel to the foundation of the house. So clearly it's this thing that either shifted or they just built it kind of crooked. I think I might just start putting the boards, and then I might cut them afterwards. Right there. Seven and a half it is. One thing I do want to check though, that is perfectly flat and I have about 1/4 inch more on this side. So I know that here I need 7.5. I'm gonna do 7.5, 7 3/4, 7 1/4 maybe. I'm not 100% sure. 7 3/4. perfectly level, amazing, great. And then we'll be anchoring this either to this board. Yeah, actually this board was pretty useless now that I think about it. That board could have totally been saved. Now I'll be taking my 3-inch screws. Perfect. We're gonna end up cutting these off, but first I wanna make sure that we're perfectly parallel with the path. After making the driveway video, I realized one thing I really needed was a laser level. I just got a regular laser on Amazon. I had pretty good reviews, and the thing I like, I think the green light, what I read about the green light lasers is that you could actually see them during the day. So what I'm trying to do now is just line it up so I see the light. So right there I'm a bit off. I'm gonna tweak it just a little bit. Okay, perfect. Right on the edge of the paver. So that right there is kind of where I want to cut it. Beyond it, or if I actually want to stop it. Is definitely not perfect whatsoever. And as you can see there, there's a pretty big gap. I had kind of made a mistake with my measurements over there. For now, I'm just gonna try and make these connections a bit more solid. Okay, so for this one, I will be using these. Here I really want to have as strong of a connection as possible. See if we cut it right here. Oh yeah, look at that. That's a little bit too high, I think. Oh, so by no means am I a professional woodworker or carpenter. I enjoy doing it, and that's why I'm doing it. So I just ran out of pressure treated 2x8s. I'm missing 3-4 pieces here. I'm missing the big piece that goes here, and I'm missing all of the blocking I need to put over here. I'm gonna put 2-3 boards over there. I just wanna see how it looks on top. And I also need to make a list on how many things I need for the stringers, for the stairs. Another thing you might be asking yourself is, am I gonna put a railing? And the answer to that is no. Because we're leveling out the whole yard, we'll bring in some more dirt, and if the deck is not taller than 2 feet off the ground, you do not need a railing. So that's what we decided to do. And we'll see next year. If it's working, great. If she wants to improve it, we could always improve. Thank you, Jigsaw. That's all I needed you for. Keep it a little bit off. Finger width away from the deck, just to give it a bit of an overhang. Another thing you can do if you really want to finish off your deck, you could put more blocking here with more 2x8s or something else. And then you can cut this at a 45 and you can do like a picture frame all around the deck. It's really, really pretty. I did that on my deck at home. Here, I don't think I'm gonna do it. I realized I once again ran out of 2x8s, and I want to make sure that all of the exterior is using the same wood. This one was inside of the garage. It's just the old kind of pressure treated. Back in the day they used to use arsenic, and that's why it's got that green color. Whereas the newer stuff doesn't use that poison anymore. They only use copper, and that's why the older pressure treated stuff has more of that greenish tint. God damn, that's a big knot. I take it back. You kind of need the jigsaw for intricate things like this. .5 inches. .28 inches. Okay, so for the stairs, I just inputted the 20.5 inches in total rise. Rise is the height to the finished board. And the total run, which is this distance from the deck edge all the way to where your first step should begin. So the Blue Jays really chose the best time to start a deep conversation. I'll take this opportunity to try and explain it a little bit better. Typically you want each step to be somewhere between 7 and 8 inches high. I think that's pretty standard. So the easiest way to calculate all of this and get the measurements you need to cut out your stringers is deck.com. It's the best calculator I used and definitely the easiest to understand. After putting in my total rise of 20.5 inches, I divided my total run of 28 inches by 2 because I knew I wanted only 2 deep, comfortable steps. So I chose to make each step run be 14 inches deep. For the tread type, I selected 5/4 by 6 because I'm using 1-inch boards. They are sold as 5/4, but they're actually 1 inch. The key thing here is that you choose the right board because that will affect all of the calculations. And lastly, for a stringer attachment method, I chose the standard outside frame option because I don't want the platform that we created to be even wider. I want the platform to act like my top step. And as you can see, this is how the flush option would look like. After hitting the calculate button, it spits out everything we need. The important numbers we want from this are the step rise and the bottom step rise. My riser height will be 6 13/16, but I'll simplify this to 6 3/4, and my bottom step rise will be 1 inch less at 5 13/16 because, well, the boards I'm using for the step are 1 inch thick. And there we have it. That's how you calculate the rise and run for your stringers. And now that the math is out of the way, we could get back to cutting the stringers. Let's go. The entire 8-foot 2x12 is marked from top to bottom. So the full board is going to be a total of 3 stringers, so 3 times 2 steps. Boom. Just touching the line. You see, you still see half the line here. Amazing. I'm just gonna double check things before I continue. That is 6 3/4, 6 3/4, 6 3/4. Perfect. Oh my God, just kidding. let's start putting some boards on. And then I'll probably go buy some more boards for there and finish the other side as well. And as you can see now, I'm tempted now to put boards here too to hide. Yeah, I think I'm gonna remove these tomorrow. I'm gonna install these ones first up top, and then these are gonna overhang over this. And then we'll see if I even need to cut off this one. It's about 1.5 inch overhang, which is a little bit much, I think, but damn, that looks good. Whoa. Sweet. Amazing. I'm gonna add another 2x8 from underneath just for show, just so it hides all of that framing underneath. Hopefully it's prettier with all of the dirt. Just to reinforce it a bit. So on this side, the ground is about 4 inches lower, which meant I needed to create a solid base for the stairs to sit on. That's why I'm pouring concrete, to anchor the stairs and make sure they're sturdy. Once it sets, the stairs will be rock solid, and we'll raise the rest of the ground later with some dirt to even everything out. Now, on the other side of the deck, I didn't need a concrete base. Those stairs were sitting right on our finished paver floor, so I could just place them on there directly. Maybe a bracket and some screws would have been a good idea to hold them in place, but for this project, I left them as is. With the deck almost done, I wanted to take it a step further and make everything look just right. So I decided to clean up the old siding. It had some ugly green paint on it, and I figured a fresh coat of white would brighten things up for the big reveal. Sometimes it's the little details that make the biggest difference. A clean, fresh look goes a long way. All right, I got 10 tons of nice black dirt, nice topsoil to fill up the front yard and make it all beautiful. And while I finished up with the deck, I had to get the brother-in-laws involved, so I got them to do the wheelbarrow and all of this shoveling. Everything's clean and looking great. I can't wait to see my mother-in-law's reaction. Alrighty, we have arrived. Oh my goodness. Mateo? Oh my goodness.
Mateo, you did this?
Oh my goodness.
Oh
So,
my goodness.
you like it?
Are you kidding me? This is amazing. Would you look at this? Would you just stop and look at this?
I'm looking.
Like, look at these curves. Oh, would you just look at it? I can't believe this. This is amazing. Would you just look at it? Just, oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? Would you just look at this deck? Just look at it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Mateo, you're a genius. Would you just, oh my goodness. I could do, oh, this is how I'm gonna get my steps in now. Oh my God, there's stairs on both sides. I love it. Mateo, how did you do this? Oh my goodness, and this walkway is so perfect. I can maybe speed walk. Oh my goodness.
Thank you so much, Mateo, and
Thank you for subscribing. Take a look at this, and then take a look at that.
oh, my favorite son-in-law.